Hi there, Frankie, for premium members for the trading day of February the 13th, 2025, a Thursday. So before we look at the charts and the opportunities, let me just sum up here in 1 minute what we do here to new users. So this is REMEC Premium Daily Videos. This is a practical implementation of our methodology on the markets. And as always, you can refer to detailed information about how to do this exactly on our website. In this video, I just want to mention that the job consists of two parts. One is identifying the opportunities. This is what these videos are mainly about. I also provide hints, quite accurate hints. You can call them instructions almost, as to what to do. But of course, each of us need to calculate the risk. The risk for any trader, every trader, is individual. Also, other personal circumstances, which we talked about many times in the past, are individual. So you have to decide how to, what we call, structure a trade, an actual trade on the opportunity that we discuss here. So let's take an example. Let's look at this silver chart. We see a penetration of the Keltner area. We see that's step number one. That's the initial emergence of momentum. Then we see a pullback, a consolidation area, which we mark up with this channel here. And then we will wait for the re-emergence of momentum, at which time we identify, or we can rely on our algorithmic signal, the blue arrow, to identify the best possible candle to go long on, to enter the trade on, in other words, to engage with the markets. Now, this is a trade on the daily chart. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but as we discussed many times, futures contracts are not the only way to profit from us having identified this opportunity. It could be micros, it could be ETFs. You can put on beautiful trades with SLV, and you can manage or calculate your risk to much more minute detail than you can on the futures market. So this is how it works. Which markets you trade and which opportunity you like. This is a little bit individual. And we review maybe 5-6 opportunities, depends on the situation, almost every day, and pick the one that you want to devote your attention to, and your financial resources, of course. Now, when it comes to structuring the trade, we also need to discuss the level of automation that you want to employ, because you can structure a trade, which means you can perform the actual trade completely manually if you want, by doing everything with the mouse, or you can activate the strategy and then let the strategy, RBT or even ProSTR, do the job for you. So this is also individual. Nobody on earth can tell you how to do this exactly. You have to come up with a process with which you are comfortable with. So this is just a initial little introduction, and of course many of you know this exactly, but if you're new to premium, this is what we do. And if you have any questions, please anytime reach out, talk to me, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you make the best of this service. Also, if you do this every day, things will change in our brains. This will become part of your intuitive process, which will, I'm sure, improve the efficiency of your trading mandate or activities. Now, after this little introduction, let's turn our attention to the markets. And as always, we start with the indexes. I must mention that, as everybody knows, the situation in the US and also internationally is, well, complicated to say the least. And that definitely affects the markets, which means that probably the level of uncertainty is high at all times, but these days I think it's even higher than usual. So practice caution, identify or pick the opportunities you want to pursue with great care. There's no obligation to participate. For example, when we start looking at the indexes today, this is not an easy situation here. the ES has tried to retest the previous pivot, which in our experience it does, but 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4 times, and is struggling to go up there, which would have been an easy job back in, you see, maybe a week ago or 10 days ago. So this is a kind of, or a type of uncertainty. Look at the overnight action. It's 3 a.m. Eastern time, and there's not much strength here on the indexes. Look at the 4-hour chart. It's just a big mess. So if you don't like it, I wouldn't argue with you at all. There's other markets we can trade, or you can use the time for something else. Having said that, let's see what the markets are doing, and a lot of things can happen at 8:30 and 9:30. 8:30, by the way, there's another news event which I think might move the markets. So if you zoom out, the weekly bull flag is quite healthy and in effect looks good, and I think we still, most likely, we're going to break to the upside. As you can see, the struggle or the uncertainty and the lack of momentum in the market has been quite noticeable for a week or two. All right, let's move on to the YM. Same story, lack of momentum. And if this low breaks here, then we're back into the sideways choppy market on the daily chart. The RTY didn't look better last time I looked at it either. Well, this is what we call crap. So unless it breaks to the upside convincingly, there's nothing we need to do on this market. However, we had a other nice push here to the upside on gold. So there's other opportunities we can pursue. We always have something to do. Look at gold pushing to 3,000. The trigger out of this bull flag has occurred. If you didn't do it, that's okay. We notice the top tail here, which for us anyway is a negative sign. So I don't like getting involved in consolidation areas characterized by big tails. All right. However, SI is still set up beautifully towards an upside break. Look at this. If it breaks, and only if it breaks, remember there's no trade without a trigger, no entry without a trigger. If it breaks, then I think we can easily get a 1R. And don't forget, we have a major pivot around 35 above us on the daily. Okay, so that was silver. Looks good. Now, platinum, precious metals are treating us well. So platinum is in a beautiful long trade. Look at this testing the previous pivot. Make sure if you're in this trade, make sure you tighten your stop. Don't give money back. We can test the 1R or we can even fail. So make sure that you limit your risk or start trailing this position if you're long here. And that's about it. I don't see much else elsewhere. So again, always refer to the Market Scanner Pro, which objectively identifies the opportunities. You're also welcome to customize this, of course. We discussed this many times in the past. In my columns, this is, for example, a 4-hour chart for the setup and the signal. If you want to trade a 60-minute or if you want to change the setting from 4-hour to something else, it's very easy. You just go into the columns and you can customize these mathematical calculations to your liking. I'm going to leave it as it is because I've been happy the way it is for years and years. Also, inside bar, long tail, important information. Long tails usually lead to a breakout. Breakouts can be traded excellently, for example, on smaller time frames. Remember, this is the daily chart. You have a long tail on the daily. The next day, you can have excellent intraday trades in the direction of the move, of the breakout, and so on and so on. Hot zone it's not marked up here, but whenever the RRR indicator crosses 0, then we get a hot zone. And setups inside the hot zone, especially the first one, is usually a strong one. So pay attention to long and short hot zones here on the daily. Again, if you want to do it on a 15-minute chart, by all means, just change the time frame in the columns. Okay, and RC, otherwise called Remek converter, gives us an accurate indication, a mathematical calculation of the risk involved and the color of this column. The bluer, the lighter it is, the more risky the instrument is. You can see that one daily ATR on the NQ is almost $8,000, so tread carefully. However, on some of the currencies, you see, more than 10 times smaller is the risk, the 1 ATR daily risk. Of course, you don't have to be on the daily chart. Whatever time frame you trade, these numbers provide a good assessment of the risk involved. So if something is 10 times less risky, then it's going to be 10 times less risky on the 50-minute chart also. All right, so these are very useful numbers here. And of course, the Keltner score gives you an accurate, almost like a geographical location, GPS information on where price is. If something is green, 1.46, it's aggressively outside the Keltner channel to the upside. You see, 115, GC is outside the Keltner on the daily, 149. So this is like GPS on the daily chart. And you don't have to open the chart. You don't have to look at the chart or open the chart to know where price is. When it's gray, it's usually something we're not that interested. We get interested when something starts happening, and that's when these columns do light up. Okay, so enough about that. I'm sure everybody understands this, and this has been discussed many, many times, and perhaps we're going to revisit these topics in future videos. So if you're new to Premium, make sure you delve into our videos on our website, and also our YouTube channel provides good information. Take your time. There's lots to digest, but you'll find that after a while it becomes second nature. So this was it. We reviewed everything. You know what to do today, 8:30 news, and it's okay to stay out if you don't like these charts on the indexes, but I'm very interested in pursuing perhaps precious metals, and especially SI. I'll stop right here before I lose my voice, and we'll be back later. Until then, mindful trading.